came to Canada seeking for peace. We were looking for a better future for our children.
I moved from my country to get a better opportunity for me, my husband, and for my son.
If we look at lifespan of children who come with their families or refugees, and most often children face acculturative stress.
My oldest child started with a speech delay because we changed the language. It was very rough for him to understand what other people was trying to tell him, and comes even worse because he stopped talking in our own language.
Especially when the family is not doing well at the beginning of their own adaptation into the new society.
Adults have settlement challenges in their settlement. Children definitely do as well.
The first year it's difficult because everything is new friends, new language, new culture.
It was too stressful for me.
And there's no stability in sort of life of the children. And because they're minors, they cannot talk, they cannot say it, but they show their symptoms through their behaviors. Why children are so shy or quiet, or why they are actively hyper. So there are so many symptoms that you can look into their eyes and their behaviors and find out these are distress.
In the first maybe 3 months or 2 months, Khalid doesn't enjoy. He cried.
My children was afraid of strangers.
Actually, the second year was a little bit missing my parents, the weather and everything.
Children lose their attachments with the previous life that they have in their own country. When they come to Canada, there's so much isolation. The theory of attachment really is so important for children who left the country of origin and then came to Canada. So this part should be placed by the positive parenting and also positive care outside of the parents' house. So it means that when they come to childcare department or to daycare, they should be connected. This part of the life of kids should be starting again to build up.
My son and my daughter used to hug their teachers when I dropped them in the daycare, and that was something different for me because I'm the mother, I'm jealous.
Theory and then research shows that children with a good warm attachment with their caregivers, they build up the better life and better self-esteem in the adulthood.
Also, one of the issues may also be language, and it's important for parents to realize that it is important to keep their native language and to maintain that, especially in Canada where language and multi-languages becomes a great asset.
They are all professional and they are mothers and they are giving me a treasure. And I go to a store and buy some books because all them told me read them. Even if the book is in English, you can imagine the story and tell him the story in your own language.
I believe that learning will be more enjoyable for children if their home is reflected in the environment where they play.
We follow the children's interests and we follow their leads. So if we look in a room, there's so much active learning and active involvement. As we know, children learn through play.
Parents need to realize that no parents can do everything by themselves.
Communication is a huge part of a child's social well-being, and in order for us to help them get to that point of social standing, as you would call it, to get into the school system, get them ready for that, social skills is key. So that's a big part of what we do here for our children, is help them with starting to communicate and to be able to express their needs, which is highly needed when they go out into the school system.
Here at the daycare, they have like a system we need to follow, is to stay with the child till he feels comfortable, staying with the teachers, playing with other children. So this is what I did, I think, for almost 3 weeks. After that, they asked me, they say, you need to leave the room. He needs to get used to the room and to the teacher. My son is very attached to me and to his father. So it was a little bit difficult.
I follow just the rule like the teacher told me here, like they got a really special rules.
One of the main goals here are to help families or help coordinate for the families supports for specific needs. And if that means that we need to help them advocate for the children, then that is what we do. And we do so by helping them navigate the system, whether it's helping them find a developmental pediatrician, whether it's pointing them in the right direction for accessing speech pathologists, whether it's a requirement that the child needs for an early assessment. We do informal assessments. We are not developmental pediatricians. My specific role is early intervention, and that, as we all know, has been key to helping children excel in the education system.
Only 2% of the population of the world left their countries, and they're moving to other countries because of different push factors.
We cannot live on that planet without dream. And my dream, me and my wife, we have to go far from where we are now.
I'm from Cuba, so Cuba is a communist country, which means like everybody needs to be like the same. So I wanted to be a little different, like I want to have a better studies, a better job, better opportunities.
I feel safe here, but you usually hear different things about other countries, but with Canada, there is nothing bad.
I came to Canada to join my husband 7 years ago.
Thanks for God to bring me here, because I need freedom, I need safe, and I need equal between man and woman, peace, everything.
So there may be some cultures where parents don't play with their children, especially for fathers who play differently with their children than mothers do. Fathers tend to play more equal with less rules. And from that, not only does the father get to know their children more, but children also learn how to socially interact with fathers, and so they treat them like peers. When they go to daycares or when they meet other children, then they have these experiences playing with other children, and so then they'll be able to make friends more. I think one of the issues that children express is when they come to a new country, and one of the big challenges is making friends.
My biggest concern before was how is she gonna relate with other kids, how is she gonna be with other teachers and not be with me all the time.
Then when it comes to the immigration, these children, they come with only just the parents and themselves, and parents are so stressed because it's a new country. And then for kids also the same. They cannot say it, but they show it through the symptoms, and this really makes a huge difference in the lives of children.
Okay, another primary goal is to help the parent understand the unique needs of their children. Some families are quite accepting that their children are different. Others are fearful because of their own experiences in the past. So we try and help our families.
When my son started here, maybe it's a different culture or different language. My son didn't feel comfortable, but maybe after 2 months, I don't remember, he ran before me.
Mateo was talking for the first time in his life, so that was, wow, I remember I said, finally I have an answer to all my doubts. It's beautiful people, and they are all warriors. I am.
Parents may want to not tell anybody, even extended family. There is some stats out there that has said that 1 in 7 children and youth will face at least one mental health issue.
They are not put on into a specific group or put into a classroom on their own. So, and that's it's very helpful. It's also helpful for the families to go through their grieving process, if that's what you want to call it. We'll have families who've come to meetings after they've had the diagnosis made and just broke down in tears because it's just so emotionally overwhelming for them. And part of my role is to help them go through that grieving process and provide a place where they can come to and share their sorrow or share their anger.
Every day when I came here and I saw the mother and the children. They are very happy about program here. And I left my son and I cry every morning. I cry. Believe me.
Especially if children have some challenges, whether it's learning disabilities or physical disabilities, parents need that first the formal supports in terms of how to take care of their children, and it's through going to experts who may have some strategies and some effective ways of dealing with some issues that would be very beneficial. You know, parents shouldn't struggle and try to figure things on their own. Whether it's informal supports through families, friends, or more formal supports like community agencies. Canada has all these infrastructures that are set and ready for them to be able to draw upon to help them in any respect.
Citizenship and Immigration Canada funds this type of program. CMAS is contracted with CIC to monitor the programs according to their requirements, care for newcomer children.
In 1982, children accounted for 22% of the total population in Canada. This proportion continues to decline. In 2012, it was estimated that children represent 16.2% of the Canadian population.
Settlement of newcomer children is not a just journey from one country to other country. It's a journey of having one identity to another, building another identity. When they come here, they have to start all over again. There's no language, there's no extensive family, and people, faces are changing, the environment is changing, everything is changing, and they have to start to build up their own identity. This kind of process is lengthy and it's not going to happen in 6 months or 1 year. So, and then also children are different. And their adaptation and acculturation gets into the different length. So these are the things that we should really pay attention to.
Some of the supports that we help the families access is through government-funded programs, through community services, and that also includes specific camps.
Each family has their own dynamics. Sometimes the infrastructure within the families are very different and unique. It's important for parents to really realize that there are so many opportunities here in Canada.
We do a pretty good job in Canada through the Department of Citizenship Immigration Canada. They provide a good funding for settlement and integration of the whole family of newcomers.
In Ontario, the federal government, through the Department of Citizenship and Immigration Canada, invested $314 million for the settlement and integration of newcomer families in 2012.
There are so many good quality childcare programs around in Canada. But we need more pay attention to our children and then find out what are the stressors, what are the areas that we can make it better. And also I want to acknowledge that, you know, with $314 million last year through the Citizenship Immigration Canada provide this funding. So I'm hoping that the other level of governments like provincial and municipal take a close look at this kind of services and embrace all children, not only newcomer children, but this is the population that I really have a passion. In our program, we seriously look into best models and best practices. Recently, we looked at the Finland report on the children's of school system, and they're on the top in Europe. And the reason why is very simple. We provide equality rather than competition. They have the same opportunities to explore their talents and their abilities. And then I really wanted to take into consideration that diversity and inclusion is very important to any kind of educational system. And then we'll make sure that children of any kind, any race, any family's values, or any countries, they get the same quality programs here in our program.
He can show me how much he's learning in the school is that I cannot ask anymore from the life. So it's teamwork together. The school and the mother have to work together for their children, but I know that they are learning probably more about their life in the school.
When I came first, I noticed that he was crying a lot in new environment, in new people. He didn't know any single word in English. Now all teachers teach my son how to a new language. They provide him with a community skill. In addition, he became independent child. So he's going the next year to regular school. I'm not worried about him.
The first child care teachers has a very important role in a child's life. And I noticed that my children has changed and had better behavior at home, especially my son. He knows to tidy up after playing and is so proud of himself. My daughters went to kindergarten after 5 months of attending in childcare, and she felt very confident and didn't have any problem at her new school. So I think there is nothing more that parents can expect from any daycare center.
There's a lot of things, for example, praising him when he do something well. Always praise him, encourage him. This is something I learned here. And when you are mad with him, they taught me how to say, I don't appreciate your behavior, and how to change my face expression when I'm angry or when I'm surprised, and all of these few things and simple things, but they really did help me. And I really appreciate another things. They pay attention to all the details. For example, he didn't eat well. Did he had a good breakfast today? Or you need to change with the fruits, or don't bring the same fruit or the same veggies every day. Try to change so he can experience a different taste every day. I'm really thankful to have me and my son as a part of this community. They help us in settling here. Everything is here. So the only thing I could think of is maybe the government will let them have a play yard.
Many think it's change about habits for him. He's more calm with another people, with her sister. He said polite. Sometimes he teach me.
Sure, I was really impressed how she's been improving discipline. Now my daughter is just having new friends. She's even learning how to speak things that I could do it, but she gonna take longer. If she sees another kids doing it, then it's gonna be easier for me and for her too.
It takes a village to raise a child, and we have lots of immigrants and refugees coming to Canada. So we need really to take very close attention how we want to raise our children and embrace them to become a very competent and successful children. And it's a nation building. We pay attention, we invest on them, we bring best programs for our children. We have better community and a stronger Canada. I would say it's rain that grows flowers, not thunder. That's really my good message for everybody who has a stick in their hands. We all have responsibility, and we all have to do our jobs through this kind of lens that we wanted to have a strong community with raising a good children for the better community, better Canada.
We believe that efforts focused on preventing and reducing adversity are necessary to secure the best possible future lives for Canadian children.
Ты мигай, звезда ночная, где ты, кто ты, я не знаю. 一闪一闪亮晶晶，满天 星星。
لالي لالي يا نجمة فوق العالم شو حلوة. Estrellita, ¿dónde está?